etc. Then my intervention in terms of news, TV, programs, etc. And then the outcome. The outcome, you are anticipating a 10% increase. Right? This is the forecast you are making. In that case, even though you have not reached the 10%, the outcome is there. Okay? There, you have been able to measure there has been an increase or a decrease. This is the outcome.
So I guess the thing is, if we're measuring, so it's a 2-year project in total, right?
Yeah.
And what we're doing is we're tracking key metrics along the way.
That's it.
And we're seeing that we're not achieving those with the original project plan. I mean, if we decide that actually the way to go is we're not even going to do TP
No,
labs,
what I want to tell you is that the percentage, the 10%
yeah,
impact, how have you decided?
it's them who are.
Okay? Maybe your the outcome would be, according to me, the outcome would be having better aware people, better aware parents, etc. And then you're going to measure to see if actually there has been better awareness, there has been an increase. This is your outcome. Your research, you have to come with an objective. In your case, I believe it's not a quantitative objective. It would be a more qualitative objective. That is, you have been able to bring a higher level of awareness and after conducting a survey to see what has been the impact. There has been an increase, right? But not necessarily 10%. You have
I
reached your
guess
objective.
what I'm saying though is if we realize partway through that we're not achieving the outcome, is it okay to change the activities?
No, I believe it's difficult to change activities in the course of a project.
So,
From my perspective, you have well defined your project, okay? Because you might not be a social worker, you might not be an infant psychologist.
Yeah.
Maybe you have to discuss with them to see what could be measured, what could be measured in terms of quality, in terms of quantity, and look at what has been achieved before you, what sort of baseline data we have, start from this, compare with other countries. This is all the, this is a research part of it. For your project, it's more a research work. This is a research part of it. The secondary data, gather secondary data, etc., etc. And then we move on with the experimental part. This is how I do it. It's not totally, for you, it's more a humanitarian project. And a humanitarian project is not evaluated in the same way as a commercial project, or is not evaluated the same way as an education project or a national project. So, for example, if
Anyway, let me contribute. Huh?
yes, of course.
Yeah.
So this is a debate that does not have a clear answer.
Yes, of
For
course.
example, if you are building, if what like ESET is doing, when they submitted a project, they say they will create a lab, develop a lab for each one. When we were evaluating that project, we say that this is a good project because it is helping bring different people into the IT space.
right.
So if they want to change any aspect of that, we will reject it, of course. Because because for us the clear goal is for them to have a lab.
But
You
I
see,
guess
that's a different
and
project.
that's my question there.
Yeah.
Is the clear goal for them to have a lab, or is it to bring visually impaired people into IT space?
And-
Because let's say they learn
And
that
when
if
we
they build.
evaluated, we saw that their idea of using these devices to bring visually impaired people into the space is to set a lab. So if they change that, it will mean that we'll have to start evaluating the new change. Yeah.
It's still, I guess my question is, let's say, and I'm not saying this is going to be the case, but let's say they do their initial work and research, and it turns out that
That research,
Parents-
that research should be advised before they are even sending the proposal.
okay, I get it, but then when you hire a project manager, this or that, and then it turns out parents will not send visually impaired children to a lab. Do you build the lab, or do you find another way to achieve the outcome? Right, given the.
For you, I
circumstances?
believe, I believe the outcome for you would be elaboration of a report. The outcome would be only elaboration of the report.
Mhm.
Okay? The next phase now, say I'm a funding organization, you have a report, you have made a proposal, a recommendation to build a lab.
Yeah,
This, now I could realize a second project to see if it is worthwhile, if it is cost effective to build the lab.
and
This
so
would be,
3 years down the
If
line
changes,
after all of this.
if you find that there is changes that might need, you will need to do on the project, it can be evaluated on a case by case basis.
I
But
guess
if-
what
but
I'm
it
asking
will
is,
go
is
to-
what is the priority to you? Is it the outcome, or is it the output? Is
Ah.
it the thing we create, or is it
this
the
question,
impact that it's having?
this question, I would have asked it well before working on my project. And you know, much of it would depend also upon the funding organization.
Yeah, so that's,
Okay.
yeah, what I'm
That's
asking.
why we're.
This is contractual between you and the funding organization. So most of it,
I also I understand what Mr. Kivuvan has just clearly said, which is the case with most projects. But I'm also trying to understand her,
Yeah, I'm getting-
her arguments, because I mean, you can start a project today, but you cannot tell what will happen next month. So sometimes in the course of the project, I mean, some stuff may change, and you may need to rethink, sit down and strategize on how best you can tackle the changes that are coming, or I mean, stuff that is not working, what you thought will work and is not working, and maybe see what you can do
agree.
to achieve the.
I've understood, we understand, I completely agree with you, but from my way of thinking, this is more a research work than a project. It's a social project, could be, but it's not, it's more research work. But now you've got the funding. Say for example, you have international funders working for the betterment of all age people, etc., like many Swiss organizations. They are willing to contribute for getting children, maltraitance des enfants, to prevent ill treatment to children, etc. They are willing to contribute to, you can conduct any exercise, you can work on any model, they are going to accept it. The proposal is different. The funding agency has different conditions. Okay.
I think in a way we should, we should focus a bit more in the particular funding agency
Yeah.
that is.
It's
funding
more
us.
contractual.
Yeah, I think it's gonna.
Yeah, but again, I think with most organizations, I think it's kind of you need to put your ideas on paper and present them to seek approval for any
Yeah.
changes that you may
Yeah.
because it is actually not fine if you already have signed an agreement with a partner, then you change something without
Well,
involving.
okay, yeah, actually, in the specific
Yeah.
example I was giving, it's actually required that
Yeah,
we change,
yeah.
because it's an innovation grant, so the point is to innovate, not to achieve a certain number of activities. But what I'm trying to figure out is this the approach here too? Is it that if we start building, an Android app, and what we realize is this is not the right platform to achieve the outcomes we need, and it takes prototyping to realize that, is that something to have a conversation about, or is it that we don't
This
care as much
Mr.
how
Well,
Yeah,
many
research can be looked at by case basis
Yeah.
initially, but it's not something we will encourage. Because when you give people so much discretion, they have given their proposal, and then you give them so much discretion on changes, it leads to abuse. In most projects, it will lead to abuse.
I would tend to agree. I would tend to agree.
Because they believe that by the time you wrote a proposal,
Mhm.
you done a little bit of your research. I've ever done,
Yeah?
yeah, and things of course can change along the way.
But-
I've ever done a similar, we got a grant and we installed a lab similar in Uganda. And
Can you give some details so that we might
yes,
follow also?
and we had done our research in the process
Okay.
of writing papers to take our students to for conferences. The students identified the hole, and so we then decided to write a proposal. And so we did that with the budget and all that, then we accepted. Now along the way, we realized a quotation, one of the quotations from the procurement, section, it was a bit higher. I was the one actually coordinating all of this. But the person was really insisting, we need this, I need this amount, in order to run this. But in our budget, to the donors, we had put less amount. Now, I had to go back to the donor and say, what, do you think we can, They said, no, it has to be that. And we had to.
That I guess, but I guess my question is still around what was the desired outcome? So if the output, right, is a lab, is what you're building, what is the desired effect that creates?
Yeah, for the disabled in that institution to be able to utilize the computers to get knowledge because they didn't have the computer.
Yeah, so
And
access.
that was it. So we didn't really have, basically that.
Yeah, I also want to
Yeah.
share some experience. I understand your point of view, and in that perspective, you're right. But and it is true. At times you get torn between achieving and the stated objectives in a project and what kind of approach to take. So for me, I look at that as one thing I would want us to know is maybe we don't need to confuse approach with the project. The project might not change, but the approaches to the project might change. That is how I look at